worked on this compost tea. I worked with Celine and we did a lot of studies in the lab. We got the colonies and we studied and see which one was solubilizing phosphorus, nitrogen, which ones were the bacteria and the colonies that were doing the work. So that's how we came about. One of the things when you deal with fecal matter, you have to make sure that the fecal matter is totally dry, that it's not fresh, because that's where you run the risk. And when you use compost tea, you spread the compost tea 3 weeks before you're going to harvest. You don't spread compost tea. You don't put it on the especially on trees is not a problem, fruit trees, but on vegetables, especially root vegetables, you need to stop at one point. Also, it could be done sprayed in the foliage, and what it does, it puts all this bacteria on the foliage that does not harm the leaves, but a lot of the aphids and the insects will be affected by eating the leaf that's with some bacteria, so it makes them sick, so they, it helps a lot too. So we're going to put all the liquids on one side and all the solids on one side. One of the experiments that we've done that we were very successful, it was the phytophthora. I don't know if I mentioned it last time I talked. Well, what we did, we had 5 pathogens, and inside a Petri dish, we did this with Ignacio Chapela. We put the pathogen in the middle. We grow the media where the pathogen grows, right? And we put different treatments. So what we did, we went out on the field, we made different treatments of beds. Some of them were organic, some of them were nitrogen, some of them were nothing, some of them were compost, some of them were compost tea. And we did find out our sugar content went up with the compost tea. Another thing, we had an infestation in the plot that was fed with nitrogen. So there is a relation, like Miguel was talking today, the nitrogen and the aphids, And also, one of the things we had, the higher yields was the one with the compost tea. And when you do tomatoes, you pay one or the other. You get a lot of tomatoes, or you decide on the size, because you can thin out the tomatoes, and you get bigger tomatoes when they're young. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to put some of the ingredients, and as I go by, I'm going to, if you guys want to come over here, and I got them all over here, because we're going to do this over here. One of the things that I have found that it's the best in what, I mean, I work with fecal matter like llamas from Peru, from Bolivia, different types of cow manure, horse manure, goat, chicken, and the best one for me has been the goat manure. And there's something about the goats that they have a flora, a bacteria in their gut. They can really basically digest anything. So they are the manure for me. The best one is the goat manure, and in the lab, that's what proved to be the best manure. You guys can, if you want to know a lot about composting and all this stuff, there's Elaine Ingram. She's in some university up in Oregon, and you can go online and you can see a lot of her videos, and she talks about populations of bacteria and the influence. And this is, if you have time, look at it. So,
what's the name again?
Elaine Ingram.
Elaine Ingram.
Yeah, well, okay, well, excuse my English. I'm always bad with the English. So. Okay, so here, if you smell this, what do you guys think this is?
Liquid poop.
I don't want to smell it.
Yeah, we can smell it. Really good in that video.
This is actually vermi-tea. It's been captured from the worms, and we save the vermi-tea. I also add that to the liquid. For a bucket like that, for something like that, I would add 1 liter. All we're doing here is we're inoculating the water, and we're adding bacteria, right? And we're growing that bacteria fast so we can feed it to the soil. That's all it is, as fast as you can. And it's very effective. I have it set up in my house where I have a well. The well fills up. It fills up. I make the compost tea. I put a bag in, and then I open the valve, and it irrigates the garden 10%, 90% water from the well. And it's very simple. It could be done, and cost-free basically. And everything's done with things we find around. You will find out one thing when we did, like right now with Miguel, most of the stuff we have is from around the area. And you can substitute. The principle is the same. I just brought up many different things, but you don't actually need all this stuff. You know, like one manure is enough, but we have 4 or 5 manures or 3 manures, you know, like chicken, goat, the vermicompost and so on. So what we do is we put all the liquid. We add a little bit about, this is fish emulsion. You know what this is for? It has a lot of phosphorus and it has a lot of protein. So that's something we all need if we're growing, right? And if we're growing bacteria, we need to have that. So I'm gonna get another bucket if we can get another bucket.
Do they farm the fish for the emulsion, or how do they catch
I just bought this, but you can use other stuff.
Yeah.
You can use beans, anything that has high protein. Garbanzo beans, like you saw the foam inside the garbanzo beans. That's all protein. If you get that juice and put it in there, it's going to go into your garden. Híjole, this smells bad too. So
would just adding fish bone or work for this?
So what I do, well, we could actually do it this way.
Sorry.
Out of these,
if you just add fish bone to the mixture, would it work as well?
it works too. But if it's solid, you got to put it with the solid stuff.
Okay.
Because you're gonna, the liquid has to be clean so you can put it in your irrigation. In Chile, a colleague of Miguel named Rene too, he's an agroecologist too. They do it at a large scale. So they take the swimming pool out from the people that own the farm, and they make the compost tea inside the swimming pool. So they add the manure there, and once in a while they put up a diesel pump to aerate. So 3-4 times a day for 10 minutes, and that's it. And they make it there. That's what they do. So basically, protein you don't need as much. You would need, for this type of container, you would actually need 2 or 3 tablespoons. And probably a liter or 2. It doesn't have to be perfect, because bacteria will grow.
Cool.
A liter or 2 of vermi-tea. This is what I use. This is I'm telling you, I know it's successful because it works. And it works. Last year I planted corn, and I planted the corn late, and it was a corn from the Andes, from Peru, and I grew them here in the green. I did what I did. I put them in water, I grew them, I put them in the greenhouse. They went really fast, and then I planted them. After I planted the corn, they grew up to 5 meters, the stalks. Why is it important 5 meters? Because a lot of people in poor countries, they don't just eat the corn. The other biomass is for feeding the animals. It's really important. Mm-hmm. But I've never seen it that large, and I'm from a corn country. Mm-hmm. Believe me, it was big. And it was the compost tea that really, you can tell in my garden, when you start using the compost tea, it's like, shoom, everything goes crazy, really fast. Next step, you need sugar. Bacteria need sugar because it's immediate energy to grow. So what we use is organic molasses. I hope. I don't know, but that's the one they gave me. Well, I just say organic. Right? So same thing. You don't need too much. Half a cup.
Is honey okay too?
Any sugar.
Any sugar?
Any sugar.
Is it bubbly?
You can use in Mexico and in parts if they don't have the molasses, they use panocha or piloncillo. They call it. It's the square Mexican version of the And for protein, you can use any protein. All the legumes have a lot of protein. Garbanzo, beans, lentejas, lentils.
What do you use meat? Like someone had bones. Like is that?
I don't do that, but I wouldn't recommend it due to the fact of the coliformes and mice, and then you're going to have problems with vertebrates, with mice in the field and all that stuff.
So
That's a whole nother course I give on vertebrates, how to control, and we have deers in my backyard here in Berkeley.
yeah.
On Haste and MLK, the deer, the turkeys, it's crazy. I don't know, but they always go to my backyard. And the deer comes, it just came like 2 weeks ago, cleans up everything. I go,
So Rene, the antibacterial qualities of honey don't cause a problem?
I don't think so. I haven't tried honey, but what the bacteria needs the sugar.
I would add.
But
I would add some other sugar just to make
Just in
sure
case.
that
so
If you add the bean protein, do you need to crush up the beans first?
it would help.
Okay.
It would help to release. Everything crushed helps to release. Now we got the solids, and what we're gonna add some regular. Miguel is here. We're gone.
He's over there.
Profe, ¿dónde está el inoculante? Inoculant, el que conseguimos del cerro.
Before you do that, Rene,
Yeah.
okay, this is mantillo de bosque. This is what the Cubans call té de montaña, mountain tea. So this is basically that we took down from the oak forest up there in Tilden Park, and it's not the top, but it's what is between the residue layer and the soil. Okay, so but before
So
he
it's the litter of the forest.
so before he does that, I want to show you something.
You said underneath the oak tree?
Well,
You
in
can-
whatever
It can be any tree.
Yeah, but just the litter. Where
Okay.
before it's
Just-
decomposing and
Yeah.
the leaves on top.
Okay.
So this soil should have a high reaction, shouldn't it?
Reaction to what?
To
Yeah.
the water peroxide. The water peroxide.
Why would it have a higher reaction?
Because it's got lots of organic matter.
Well, it should. See that?
Mm-hmm.
See that?
It does.
My hand is bubbling like crazy, and it's hot.
It smells bad.
Huh? Okay.
Yeah,
It's the
yeah.
Yeah.
Whew.
I get too,
Stinky stuff. Okay. It's all yours.
So then you have to put this inoculant.
Why
And,
is it an inoculant?
because it has a lot of
Mycorrhiza.
mycorrhiza, it has a lot of fungi, it has a lot, it's,
Tierra de hoja.
You know.
de arriba.
I don't like eucalyptus. I do avoid I mean, don't take it there. Everything is, you know, there is some. I know. They're pretty invasive. They're one of the 10 worst invasive things that came to the Americas.
So basically, if you want to use the natural biology of a soil, you find it in
You
the
find it
forest.
around where you live.
Because all this was forest before. So this is what you're doing. We're introducing the biodiversity of microbial diversity of the soil into this.
Would you want to do that with other kinds of compost as well? Not just
Yeah, you can
composting?
also take. You have a compost pile.
Yeah.
You open a hole. You put the stuff in there. You're inoculating. Yeah. Absolutely.
Then I will add a little bit of vermicompost. This is compost that's all worm castings. That's all it is, and you see it has calcium and everything in there. Right? One of the things you can also, that you could do, you could chop like eggs and grind them and add it to the tea if you have lack of calcium in your soil, or you can lime the soil. That's another, you know. But to lime it, it doesn't work the same year. It'll take some years before it works. Then we have,
¿Qué almorzó usted, don René, que está tan...
this is goat manure. It's in there, believe me.
Where do you get your goat manure from?
They're organic goats from a friend. They have a thing in
The roots, what is it?
El Sobrante, yes.
Wild and radish farm.
Right. And they actually, Josh brought it. I didn't know where to get the goats. We usually barbecue.
My friend keeps goats in Berkeley. I could get her goat food.
Leah?
Yeah. She lives in the Berkeley and she has
I know,
4
but-
goats.
Yeah, no, but...
Okay. So then what we do here is we tie this up. And somebody can do this.
¿Tiene cordelito o no?
No, no tengo.
No, espera.
Okay. We tie it up. This will hang here for 3 days, and it's ready to use. You can use it up to 7 days.
A ver,
May machetito para cortar.
cachetito.
Hang in the water or outside the water?
Nudo.
In the water.
Nomás ciego el nudo.
It's like your
Sí, ella trae una nueva.
Corte. Listo, ciego. That's a tea.
It's a very simple process, easy to do, easy to if you know your irrigation system, but you have to be careful. When we use it in our irrigation system, we use this. This won't last more than 3 or 4 months because the bacteria will even eat up the plastic. This will be eaten like 2 or 3 uses and you got to dump it. You know, because it breaks, the bacteria eat everything. They break down everything.
One goes there. Bye. You know how to do compost tea?
So you put the leaf litter, some goat poop, and what was the other thing in there?
Vermicompost.
Yeah.
Anything. If
Anything.
you have other manures, horse,
Yeah.
chicken,
The more
put them all
stuff
together.
you can add it up because it just enriches the bacterial population.
Yeah.
And there's competition. And you know this type of bacteria will promote nitrogen fixation and phosphorus. They will solubilize phosphorus because we've done it in the lab. So you can actually see it. It forms a halo around the colony how it's consuming the. And also with the plots we use the compost tea. We had very good results when I was talking about the media when we put the pathogen like late blight, Phytophthora. When you put it in the middle, and the treatment, we put little sponges that we take the soil, we emulsify the soil with water, de-water, and we get that juice, and we treat the little sponges, and we put them in there. So when it gets, the media starts to colonize the whole area, but when it gets to the little sponge where it had the compost tea, it goes around. And once we stop using it, it colonizes the tea. So that means if you consistently use the compost tea, it'll help you a lot with a lot of the fungi problems. So why? Because it's already colonized by other fungi and by other bacteria, and they're fighting for their territory. That's basically it, So that's how it works. So this is the compost tea. It's an easy setup.
Is it
And-
bubbling in order to provide
Yes, it has to be aerated because we're dealing with fecal matter. If you're not dealing with fecal matter, it's not as bad. But when you put fecal matter, you have to be careful.
Is that true
Another
with
form-
vermicompost as well?
The what?
Is that true with vermicompost? Does vermicompost count as fecal matter?
I think I'd be careful with it.
Yeah,
I-
even goat and herbivore poop, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I'd be careful. One of the things is that when you could also, that's an interesting thing, you can grab compost. If you want to do something like a tea, you want to give it like a vitamin, like a milkshake with vitamins when you go running, like the kids. What you could do is you do a lechiate. And what you do with that is you just grab regular compost, you put it in dechlorinated water, and you set it there for 20 minutes. And then you strain it, and you use that water, that lechiate to water your plants.
Oh, that's
And
easier.
it's very good, it's easy to do, and it's simple. That's another simple system. Okay, you guys are gonna teach me how to do the bokashi.